Today I am seeding fireweed. I'm Emily and welcome to Mingle Hill Farm. Fireweed is a native plant to Northern Ontario, and fireweed grows at the side of the roads and usually after a fire. It's pretty pink flowers and comes up during the summer, and then in the fall it goes to seed. So this is a very difficult one to germinate. Fireweed I've tried for a number of years and not been successful. So I finally figured it out, and not just from reading, but just common sense. And the reason that is that when we seed anything native specifically to Ontario, you have to think as how would Mother Nature do this? As it's fireweed, it typically grows after a fire. I had figured out after many years that to use wood ash to recreate a scenario where there would have been a fire. We have a tray here that has been prepared with a germination soil and vermiculite, and we have soaked it. So it is quite damp. A dry seed is a dead seed. It is a 72 cell tray. So I'm going to start with some wood ash from my wood stove. If you don't have a wood stove, pretty sure Amazon probably sells wood ash at this point. But you probably live in the country and I'm sure you can find some. Okay, so we're just going to lightly spread it on. A little clumpy, so I want the drier stuff. Applying it is very much like cooking when you add salt. So the higher you go, the better distribution system you get. So we're going to finish this entire tray with a nice light covering of the wood ash. I'm trying to not get the big chunks. I'm just going to put them there. Now I'm doing this in my house and not my barn for a very particular reason, and you will find out at the end of this video. Now, I have bought these seeds from Richter's Seeds. I have in the past foraged them. Of course, sustainably, you want to only forage a few so you can leave them there, leave the rest to regerminate so that they are continuously in our environment moving forward. So we want to replicate a fire. I want an even distribution of this wood ash. Now, this is obviously going to change the pH of the soil as well. So, which is very important as well. pH is extremely important to seed germination. Now that my hands are nice and dirty, we have our fireweed seeds. Now, foraging them is very difficult because they're floofy, they're extremely tiny, and almost impossible to see. These seeds into a container so I can see them a little bit better, but they are so tiny. So there's the seeds. You can see my finger, how big they are. That is minuscule. So our theory of practice, if it doesn't say on the package, is the smaller the seed, the higher it is on the soil. So something like this would actually lay on top of the soil, where a bean is quite big and goes about an inch down. So I kind of always think of my seeds somewhere from this point being at the top to a bean being about 1 inch. More information about seed germination, I did find a 1993 publication that I can put the link below of Seed Germination Theory, quite useful for the odd items that we tend to grow here. I have my seeds. I'm gonna lick the end of a toothpick, and I'm gonna take each seed and then put 2. You can barely even see if it dropped in. So I've given up on the toothpick because these ones are actually smaller than even the toothpick can pick up. Grabbing a few in my little fingertips, and I'm sprinkling them like I kind of did the wood ash. Problem if you lose concentration, you don't know where you left off. I'm gonna use the stick to show where I left off. I get smarter every time I do this. In this package, there's a ton of them stuck to the bottom of the package. You must be thinking, wow, Em, you must be so popular at parties. All these fun things that you do. It's true. I really am. I'm a blast. I'm usually the person talking to the dog. I need a new package. I'd rather use more seed than enough. Next year, I can just put more seed. Well, this video will remind me that I need at least 3 packs for a tray next year. I could be dropping like 100 seeds in each. No point in saving these, so I'm just gonna. They're so tiny. Now, this is the reason I am doing this in the house. Normally, you could just leave this outside. You don't have to use one of these trays. You could use one of those salad containers with the mez mix in them. Take up a lot less space if you're just doing a small little patch. But in Canada, or in Ontario, it's been more than mild. We must say today's 8 degrees. So we want to make sure that these guys germinate. So for the next 6 weeks, don't judge me. I'm waiting for it to freeze so I can clean up my freezer. I'm gonna have to clean this up before I do the mullein, which is like right away. Anyways, that's where it's gonna live for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Ready to come out. I'm gonna do 6 weeks because it's getting a little late. I'm gonna put it outside. I'm gonna make sure it's watered so it never goes dry. Again, dry seed is dead seed. And once it's ready, it'll be outside. It'll have slowly time to wake up. So you're not forcing it into a warm room because that's not the environment that it's used to out in the nature. Thanks for watching. Bye.